It's oh so quiet. Shh, shh. It's oh so still. Shh, shh. You're all alone.
Let me take this off because I don't think you guys are going to take me seriously wearing this. So, hey guys, what's going on? It's Cage Nerd here from the Party Nerds, and recently myself and the rest of the Party Nerds crew got an opportunity to see the movie Birds of Prey, the fabulous emancipation of the Birds of Prey, the fabulous, fantabulous emancipation of the dang it. Birds of Prey, the immaculate emancipation. Ah, damn it, I can't get that. What is it? Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of the one Harley Quinn. Did I get that right? Anyway, whatever the adjectives are, we got a chance to see this movie, and normally when I go into a movie, whether it's a DC movie or a Marvel movie, I have certain expectations or hopes. This movie, I'm not gonna lie to you, I really didn't have any expectations. I mean, if you look at the DC films within the past couple of years, it's literally a roller coaster up and down. I mean, you've had some movies that were just straight up awesome, like the recent Joker, you know, and then you had other movies that were just like in the middle. You talk like, you know, maybe you could say Suicide Squad. Aquaman was good, but the story kind of lacked, and then you had Justice League. You know, sorry to all you Snyder fans. It's just, you know, it is what it is. But so with this movie, you kind of like, well, which one are you going to get? Are you going to get the surprisingly, I was shocked this is a good movie? Or are you going to get the DC, here you go again? But honestly, after viewing this movie, warning, this is going to be a relatively spoiler-free trailer, but I might throw little hints in there, so if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, you might want to hold off watching this video until you see the whole thing. But honestly, my final thoughts leaving the theater was, it was pretty good. Now, do I look overhyped or excited? No, because it wasn't on that level. You're not going to leave that movie like, yo, I want to go right back in the theater and see it again. Now, let's talk about the good parts of this movie. The good parts of this movie was, this was a fun movie. This was a very fun movie. If you just want to go to a theater and see something that's going to entertain you, where you're going to be like, oh, that was fun, it's just, you know, kind of like a ride or something, this is it. Let's talk about the cast. You have Margot Robbie, who has already proven herself as a really good Harley Quinn. She does the role as good as she's done it before, and you know, I will say this. The only thing that I will say about the movie is they should have given her more of her backstory in the movie, because there was no contrast. You know, she just goes right off the gate like, oh, Mr. J and me broke up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know the whole thing, and she goes right into wacky mode, as opposed to showing Harleen Quinzel, she was an educated therapist. She was the one who in Arkham actually was talking with the Joker, and the Joker just showed her how manipulative and how sociopathic he can be by swaying her into pretty much insanity. But we don't see that. Now, I know they were trying to avoid putting the Joker in this movie, but I still think that they could have found a way to incorporate her transition kind of into craziness, you know. I mean, she's not mad, like straight up, you know, running around with coleslaw on her head mad, but, you know, she's pretty much crazy for what it is. In the movie, you get to see this fun, lighthearted, goofy Harley Quinn, which is nice, but I would have liked to see a little more of her transition into this role. Now let's talk about the other characters. First of all, the pleasant surprise in this movie, the one character I think who had the best backstory that you actually gave a damn about was the Huntress, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And if you don't know who that is, all I have to say is,
You're zero.
Ramona Flowers. Oh, Ramona Flowers. And by the way, not to digress, but that movie will always be just a great film. But she plays the role of Huntress, and I loved her character.
You killed his BFF.
To me, she was the character in the movie that actually drew you in. You saw her backstory, you saw why she's the Huntress, and it made you kind of give a damn about her character. Unfortunately, the other characters, like you had the Black Canary, who, cool, started off with a different background story than the comics, was an interesting character played by Jurnee Smollett-Bell. Now, I think one thing you can remember this girl from, if you're old enough, would be Full House. Like, she was the young girl on the show, but in this movie, she's like the seductive club singer, and it kind of goes with the whole Black Canary's voice thing, and she does pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. The characters can be a little dry at points, if I'm gonna be honest, but still fairly interesting. But then you got characters like Renee Montoya. Now, I know in the comics this character isn't the most interesting, but goodness, in this film, like I love you, Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya, but it just wasn't working for me in this film. I feel like this character was just kind of there. Really no real powers, no real reason to be there. It was just like she was written in the script just because. Now, honestly, I think that would have been so much better if they replaced Renee Montoya with Selena Kyle's Catwoman. I don't know why Catwoman wasn't in this movie, but Catwoman would have been a great addition to this, I think, taking these characters to the next level. Let's talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi's performance. I've always loved Ewan McGregor. I mean, not just because he takes the high ground.
I have the high ground!
He killed it as Roman Sionis, the Black Mass. It's like, it was almost kind of Joker-like, but he put his own goofy, narcissistic, almost diva-like flair to it. So unlike the Joker, who is maniacal and more evil, this guy is just a straight up like club goer. Picture like, someone who has millions of followers on social media that just thinks he's the shit. Well, that's who he portrayed, and he did a great job with that character. Then another surprise character would be the other villain, Chris Messina, who was playing Victor Zsasz.
Wait, you lost something, right? You lost something, I heard you say it. A diamond.
If anyone reads the comic or you watch Gotham, he's just pretty much the sadistic killer who, whenever he kills someone, puts a mark on his body, on his face, all over the place. So his character in the movie was really good. A little crazy, a little maniacal, but I'm not gonna lie, it's still not better from my man in Gotham. To me, he nails Victor Zsasz. So at this point, I'm gonna be biased. I think that any other Victor Zsasz is not gonna be as good as him, but that's just me. You have a film where I feel like it's all about like the cinematography. They're trying to, it almost feels like you're watching a sitcom, like a nighttime drama sitcom, with just kind of like crazy edits and the car chase scenes and the fight scenes, which is good, but I feel like they kind of missed the mark. I feel like I needed a little different direction with this because, again, fun. Parts in the movie were very fun, but it didn't pull you in, The story, not bad. You could tell they just put the story together. Now, to talk about the negatives of this movie, it didn't feel like I was watching a motion picture. It felt like I was watching one of the CW shows. It felt like an extended 3-day series of Legends of Tomorrow or something. You had these characters finally getting together, then they kick ass in the end, the heroes win, and as CW shows happen, then the next day, something else is going to happen. So, again, the problem I think with DC films, of late, they just don't connect well to the next film. Like you had Shazam, which I thought was a fantastic film. You want to see more connected to this world, but after you see this movie, you might be left like, all right, I kind of don't care what happens from here. I mean, if the Birds of Prey 2 Back in the Habit comes out, I'll see it, but I really don't care to. So, the negative about this movie is you had some very underwhelming performances as well, Also had some other characters in the film that are just kind of there. At some point in this movie, you got to realize I'm watching a movie. Because for Harley Quinn to just go into a police headquarters and start hitting everyone with pretty much colorful pellet guns and them not knowing what to do with themselves, that's either the most incompetent police force ever, or it's a stretch in a world that's just not reality, because that wouldn't happen. But, just like in comics, you got to separate yourself and be like, all right, Harley, yep, you and your heels and your colorful guns, so be it. All in all, I think Birds of Prey was a pretty fun movie. Was it a great film? By no means. Is it something I want to see again? By no means. But it is a film that I would put on the level of like a Suicide Squad, maybe a little better due to some of the performances like Huntress, who...
Maybe I'm not the one you should have been fighting for.
Ramona Flowers. Love that character. There are going to be some very bright spots in this movie, but again, don't go into this movie thinking you're going to see the Joker 2. Don't go into this movie thinking you're going to see the Shazam, because it's just not going to happen. But you will be entertained. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels. Instagram is The Party Nerds. We're Party Nerds on Twitter. We're Party Nerds on Facebook. And you gotta check out our TikTok account. So stay tuned, guys. More to come. Party Nerds go.
Jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up, don't be scared. And your cares will soar away.